So this time we'll be looking at Moon Knight from the Mojo series, Series 15 of the Toy Biz Marvel Legends. The other figures in the wave: Beta Ray Bill, Spider-Woman with the variant Julia Carpenter Spider-Woman, Captain Marvel with the variant Janice Val Captain Marvel, his son, the Wasp, a variant of one of her older costumes, Thor Buster Iron Man with a variant being the Asgardian Destroyer. Interesting to note here that the Wasp has pictured two variants. Only one was actually produced. You see here the write-up for Moon Knight, his power chart and statistics. On the opposite side, we get a nice little backdrop here, a nice little command center, and you can see the moon copter. So you have a nice little diorama for Moon Knight. This is the variant figure. The original or regular figure is actually a black costume. This silver, a lot more like the classic Moon Knight suit. Moon Knight makes his first appearance in Werewolf by Night, number 32, in 1975. He was first created to be an adversary of the Werewolf by Night. Pretty nice sculpt, and it's a pretty cool paint job. You can see that he has a hole here in his back and through his cape that you can put him on one of the stands with, I don't have one by me right now. Now for his accessories, I guess you could kind of count his cape and hood cowl as an accessory. His cape really is cool. Got this nice little peak to it and sits very nice. A nice curl to it, and it actually helps to keep the figure balanced and standing up in some respects. He's got a bow staff, kind of bent out of shape as these things are wont to do. Here he's got some nunchucks. Let's take his cowl off. You can see better look at the head. There is some paint mishaps on this side with jaw and chin, but on the right side doesn't, you can't really see it. And here we go is his second set of weapons that you can store behind him in this little loop, and it's a pair of nunchucks. And these are the exact same nunchucks that came with one of the Daredevil figures. I'm really disappointed that he didn't come with some of the more character-based weapons that he has. In the comics, he has an axe, he has an Ankh-shaped baton, he has some crescent-shaped throwing darts. Yeah, I just don't know why they didn't include those. He has the extra shoulder articulation that allows him to move his shoulders back further. The regular joint here that allows 360 and in and out. Rotates at the bicep. Double elbow joint. Rotates at the glove. His wrist is supposed to bend, but it's so stiff in there, I don't want to force it really. And all his fingers are articulated. Abdominal articulation. He has waist articulation, although his belt does get in the way a little bit. His legs, you can rotate them and go in and out. Rotate his thigh. He's got a double knee joint. Rotates at the calf there at the boot. His ankle, really loose joint there. And he does have some pivot as well as toe articulation. With the metallic paint and the pearly white paint they use on his arms and boots really made the figure very stiff in the joints. Well, at least initially, they painted some of the joints over. Marc Spector, who is the alternate identity of Moon Knight, was the son of a rabbi, and he kind of rebelled against his father and went into the U.S. Marine Corps. When he came out of the Marine Corps, he decided to become a mercenary. He went to work, after several jobs, went to work for this guy, Raoul Bushman, who raided this archaeological dig headed by Professor Peter Alloraine and his daughter Marlene. It turns out this was a temple of the Egyptian god of vengeance, Khonshu. Bushman kills Dr. Alloraine. Spector challenges Bushman because of this and is beaten up and left to die out in the desert, while some present-day worshippers of Khonshu find him and care for him and bring him back to health. And while he's recovering, he has this vision of the god who offers him a second chance at life if he becomes the champion or avatar for him on Earth. Spector agrees, wakes up, he defeats Bushman. He then goes over to America with Marlene in tow and his mercenary friend slash pilot, Frenchie, also known as Jean-Paul Duchamp. They start off using the fortune that he's acquired as Marc Spector, the mercenary, to begin a career as Moon Knight, the crime-fighting vigilante. He creates a couple of personalities or cover identities. The first personality is that of Stephen Grant, who is a millionaire playboy philanthropist, and the second is Jake Lockley, a cab driver, New York City cab driver. Eventually, these personalities start to take lives, lives of their own. They actually start to become different personalities rather than cover identities. He acquires some new weapons, the ones I told you about before, the moon-themed weapons, which were actually created by a time-traveling Hawkeye. Again, the figure doesn't have any of them, so I can't show an example of them to you. Khonshu eventually begins possessing Marc Spector. It's during that time that he joins the West Coast Avengers. However, Khonshu, with no real explanation, just kind of stops doing this, and Marc Spector takes over. I haven't read much of his current series. I'm told, as far as I know, that deals with a lot of his multiple personality issues, picking up on more of a redemptive arc. He's also recently become a member of the Secret Avengers, although I don't know why they need to be called Secret. That's an interesting thing to see him part of the Avengers again. That's a review on Moon Knight. Hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned for my next review. Will be on Nova.